how are you? I'm so glad that you could join in this call with me and my cousin, who will be here soon on this Zoom call with the three of us. You, indeed, being our third participant in this conversation. A silent participant, sure, but a participant nonetheless. Indeed, the terrible audio quality is intentional because we, dear listener, are just three people on a Zoom call, just three friends hanging out, and thus the quality wouldn't be professional standards. No. I did not accidentally set the gain on my microphone too high. That is not what happened at all. It is all intentional. Think of it as avant-garde theatre, perhaps. Look, I don't know what I'm doing. I promise. I think I figured it out for episode 3. I'm fairly sure I spotted it. We'll see, though. We'll see. Look, this isn't my job. I'm not a producer. I don't know what I'm doing. Anyway, I hope you enjoy episode 2 as best you can, and that you have a nice time, and that we see you next week. Anyway, I will hand it over to Leah and Emily from the past. Play the intro, maestro!
Boobs, breasts, ghouls,
Ghosts, welcome to the show.
we're your hosts.
It's
So we're back.
episode 2.
The sequel, which is notoriously worse than the prequel, so we've got lower standards for ourselves, lower expectations, which is good.
We do. You know what I realised recently while I was talking to myself on my TikTok? Almost all my favourite movies are sequels.
Scooby-Doo 2,
Evil Dead 2. Texas
will say
Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Shrek 2.
Oh,
I will
Shrek
say it.
2.
I will say it. Not that I'm disrespecting Shrek 1, but it's
Oh,
up
but Shrek 2
there.
is just...
It's just
Shrek 2 is just... Oh, it's just so good.
the music. It's just the music.
Fairy
But,
Godmother
yeah.
isn't in the first one.
Yeah, exactly, and that's what it's Jennifer Saunders, is it?
Yeah.
Icon. So
I
you've got
love
to give
her.
that. So actually, yeah, the sequel gets a bad reputation, but I think it's proven itself.
Over time.
Yeah, that's definitely another theme for a podcast, isn't it? Sequels.
Sequels.
Right. Well, I'm excited for episode 2 and that we've actually kind of got a theme,
We sort of do have a theme.
but we never stick to it because that's half the fun. That's most of the fun. That is the fun. I know we're going to be talking about time, but genuinely, doesn't it feel like a combination of forever mixed with yesterday when we were sat in Sutton Park filming our original series of Boobs?
Oh, do not. I was thinking about this literally today. Now I'm home after uni, I feel like I'm back up to being 19. Like nothing has
Yeah.
changed. And yet everything has changed.
Isn't it weird? It's like
It's horrible.
I honestly think your 20s is an elongated version of those days between Christmas Day and New Year's Eve. Like, you know,
No,
the box.
that is the perfect analogy.
Isn't it like genuinely like you're all bumbling about thinking I should be doing stuff, but I don't know what to do, and I'm
That
waiting
is literally, I've like not heard a better description of your early mid-20s in my life.
Isn't it weird? Because genuinely, I think as well, since moving to Liverpool and being remote and in the house more often than ever, it's reminded me a little bit like lockdown, and that's why I'm very glad we've got Boob again, because that's how Boob was born.
Mm-hmm.
But now I'm craving that graveyard walk. That
I know. Yeah, I've started taking myself out again.
I love that.
I've been going to the bookshop a lot, go every week.
Oh, we're talking Waterstones.
We're talking the charity bookshop.
Even better, actually. I was, wrongfully directing people to Waterstones. I love that. Do you find some good reads in there?
I do, and they're always like £1.
See, it's literally cost effective. It's
Yeah,
the cheapest travel you'll ever have.
And I talk to everyone in there, all the old people that work there.
Well, I love it. It's perfect. It's so quickly, and we should have literally been this for the book episode, but that's not how time works because this happened after that episode. I was in Waterstones last week, and I've never ever seen someone. Well, I've never really seen people steal anything before, anyway. I'm very unobservant. But we walked in, and I went straight for the new fantasy hardback release section. But I noticed that there was a homeless guy, I think. He was trying to steal a board game, and the security kind of came, pinned his arms behind his back, was swearing at him in a Liverpudlian accent. And it was just very weird because you don't expect Waterstones to be...
Also, why are board games?
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Apparently, he was in the day before stealing as well. I reckon, and I'm just guessing here, but it must be quite boring, when so some gay. I don't know. I understand. I will never condone it, but I respect it if you're gonna, books are the best things in the world. You have to do what you have to do to
Yeah,
get
I
what
was
you
gonna
need.
say, like, I understand stealing like a book.
Again, in my place of worship, it was quite an odd sight.
That's crazy.
It is, isn't it? So what were you saying? Speaking of time,
Oh,
time.
I'm going to take us down a completely different route.
Okay.
Talking of time, and I'm thinking about growing up. Guess what
Mm.
I got in the post the other day? I'm 20,
Oh.
I'm 24 and a half, and I got a letter from the NHS
Smear
telling me
test.
that they wanted me to spread my legs like a slut and insert a speculum into me. And I don't want to do I don't want to do it.
I really hope that's how they phrased the letter. Like, that's so good. Oh, that is incredible. Oh,
I
how are you
don't even use
feeling?
tampons. I don't even
Mm-mm.
use tampons.
I'm not gonna lie, if you've ever Googled speculums, they are literally medieval equipment. It hasn't evolved in
It
like
makes me
hundreds of
sick.
years. They are so cold.
You know the prostate exam? They just do a blood test now.
No, you're having a laugh.
You don't even have to have a finger up the arse. A single finger, and they were boo-hooing.
That's half the reason they went, was for that.
Just
Wow. Why have we? I mean, I will say, and again, it's actually not that bad. Like, because I remember going to mine. It was New Year's Eve during lockdown of all times, and I was wearing it was like 6 p.m., but it was dark because it was that time of the year. And like, you remember when you had in migraine, with the doctor, you had these people in masks waiting outside because you couldn't just walk in because it was lockdown.
yeah.
I turned up in that sparkly staff dress that I've worn with you many times, with nothing else on, just a dress, because I wanted easy access for the doctor. And they obviously knew, because I had to say why I was there because it was lockdown. They looked at me in a dress at 6 p.m. on a winter's evening, and they were like, "We know exactly why you're here." And it was just so embarrassing. But yeah, when is it? Have you booked it?
I haven't booked it.
You've got this.
I'm saving myself for when I'm 25.
Okay.
I think because technically speaking, you get it. That's the year you're supposed to have it done. Your
Actually,
first is
yeah.
supposed to be when you're 25. So
Yeah.
I've got like 6 months.
Oh yeah, you can just pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah, because I've never had to show a doctor my fanny ever.
This is going to be quite a turning point in your life. This
Honestly, I
explains.
actually think there's like 4 people in existence that have seen my fanny.
I can't remember from one of them. Like, I don't know. I've been in the room, is it? The same time
You
it's
have been
been
in the same.
around.
You have been in the room. Like I was going to say the whole thing, but then I just stopped after the whole. But either way,
Same
it
thing.
works.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, I love that. No, it's weird. You'll have a female doctor, which is always the best.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine it being the alternative. But it's very quick. It does. Do you remember those when you're at school in like Hill West, like primary school,
Yeah.
and you're using pipe cleaners during crafts to make things? It
Yeah.
feels like they put a pipe cleaner in you, and you can feel it around your tonsils. It's like you forget how long your body is until that moment. It's not painful. It's just odd.
Okay.
It is just odd. But yeah, just have a VK before you go.
Liquid courage.
Yeah, but oh my god, are you like? How are you almost 25 then? Like, I can't
Yeah, I know.
believe it.
Don't. I got a Facebook memory yesterday or the day before. It's been
Yeah.
8 years since my prom.
No,
And
no
it's
way.
and 6 years since year 13 prom.
Do you know, I can vividly remember what you wore to your proms as well. Like, they were so iconic. They were so you. How has that been 8 and 6 years?
It's actually sick in it. And I still talk about school and teachers.
Mm.
Like the way my brain just didn't progress past teen angst.
Yeah. Yeah. But like, don't use what frightens me is that a lot of teachers we had teaching us were like younger than we are or like around our age when they became teachers. But
Yeah.
like we're not adults, we're not old enough to teach,
No.
like to govern a group of kids.
Like, were our primary school teachers still living at home with their mum and dad?
Like I go to snobs at the weekend.
Just like I can't wrap my head around it. I was in Spoons 3 days ago with a primary school teacher.
Oh my God, I respect that because that, as a primary school teacher as well, you're like influencing a group of people because teachers do make or break how you feel about certain subjects, like 100%. So good on them. Wow, that's a lot of power.
It's so much power.
And so much responsibility. Oh my, that is quite frightening. Do you feel though, like you could go back, if someone said, oh, you gotta go back to school tomorrow, like you could just walk in and it'd be like normal?
Yeah.
Yeah. What's that about? I feel like I should have shaken it off, but I could just put my blazer back on.
I really genuinely I could. I was built for school. I was really good at it.
We peaked. Like
I peaked because I was good at exams.
oh my God.
Not the socializing bit. Like
Oh, no.
just the studying.
Oh wow. You're like a educational dream. Like if only we could just keep studying things forever and getting paid to do it, like, your
So
student
I'm
loan.
literally planning to do a PhD. That's my dream.
Love that. Just to prolong like the full-time world.
Yeah. And then I can live out my like lecturer professor fantasies and have like an office covered in just like books floor to ceiling and like a little
Do not.
and
Oh.
tapestries and rugs.
Oh. You were
Candles.
always meant for that because I always remember your uni tapestry that ended up being a rug, or was it the other way around? It was a rug that ended up on the wall. I can't remember, but it's iconic. And yeah, I can so see you with a windowsill full of plants, one in that baby's head thing.
Oh my God. I can't wait. The way people fantasize about their future like houses and families and stuff, and I'm there like, I'm gonna have such a cool office.
I can see that though. You've got such a dark academia, but it turns into like a supernatural gothic. Like I can so see it. It's so you.
I can never say it, but like I want every space that I inhabit, I want to look like an apothecary. Is that how you pronounce that word?
One more time.
Apothecary? A witch shop.
A witch shop, yeah. I don't want to tell you what it like that. You basically got it. Oh yeah, I can. Yeah,
no. Now you have to tell me how I'm mispronounced because I've only ever read that word. I do you know the band Enter Shikari?
Yeah.
Do you read Enter Shakira?
Don't, because do you know the first time I ever heard of it was in year 10 at school. A girl next to me in English was listening and I saw it on her phone and I genuinely thought it was like a Shakira album. Why would they do that?
Just my brain has always, because I'd see that name in like Kerrang magazine and my brain would just like rearrange the letters so it said Enter Shakira. I thought they were called Enter Shakira, but like until they were at Download and I saw them live. That is like
Shakira. That would be such a good crossover though if they ever did that at the same time, like toured together. Oh man, that would hit a very niche audience, but it'd be a great time. It'd be incredible. It's a pocket. No, you say it again.
Apothecary.
Because I heard of it. It's in Friends. I've just watched the episode the other day because they get a table that's an apothecary. Oh my God, I know how to say it until you. An apothecary. Oh, don't. Where's Siri? Apothecary. Oh, don't. I could say it before this call.
I'm googling it. It's bothered me now. Apothecary.
Yeah. Oh, you know when a word loses all meaning when you say it a lot.
Oh, it's right. Hold on.
Apothecary.
Oh, apothecary, but now, yeah, like full of elixirs and potions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, like an alchemist type situation.
Yeah, like an alchemist sort of like the same vibe as like a troll market.
Oh, why is that not real life? Because generally all I want to do is take a wicker basket and go collect some parchment and some wildflowers and an apothecary glass bottle.
Oh,
talking of sequels, that is one of the reasons why Hellboy 2 is one of my favourite movies on earth.
Do you know, oh, you're gonna hate me for this. I didn't know there was a Hellboy 2.
You will love it. You will love it. There's elves. There's
Oh my God.
love. There's romance. There's a troll market. There's a German robot that is so camp and made of gas. It's just, it is everything you could possibly ever want in a
Oh
in a
my
film.
God.
It's perfect.
How old is it?
So old. It came out. I mean, it's old enough for me to have it on a pirated DVD.
You're gonna have to bleep that bit, aren't you? Oh my God, I'm definitely bumping that to the. I genuinely I loved Hellboy. Genuinely didn't know there was a second one.
It's so much. I love the first movie. It's so much good. There's these things called tooth fairies.
Yeah.
I am not even gonna spoil a second of it. It's so the main elf though, he's one of the Bros twins.
Bros, remind me.
When will I be
No way.
And he is God, he is so hot. And I'm not a blonde boy, but he has this like long blonde, like Legolas hair, and it and these like scars over his on his nose. Oh my love.
So he's damaged. Okay, I get it.
Oh yeah, he's Gorgina. That's another
Right.
thing. I'm sorry. One last.
Let's go.
I need to switch about a linguistic phenomenon.
Yeah.
You know, if you get really into someone, do you start picking up on the things that they say?
Yeah, 100%.
We were talking about this a little bit before the podcast, but I have been watching a lot of Trixie and Cassia. Cassia has a lot of like vocal. I don't want to say stim because they're not. Cassia's not autistic, but it's that energy. Like he has a lot of like vocal sort of tidbits that he likes to throw into things.
Yeah.
I've started picking up on them, but the one I pick up on the most is it came from the word Floptina, which was a meme nickname for Christina Aguilera after she released, I can't remember what album it was, but it was a flop. So then she got referred to as Floptina. But then Floptina became Gorgina, became Turntina, Slatina, etc. But I keep adding it to every word I say. Like the other day I went, I'm starved Tina. Like every word I say ends in Tina. Words that mean absolute milk Tina, help Tina, I can't Tina. Like it's every word. And it's like verbal diarrhea.
I love that so much. And that is a bucket list thing that I want me and you to do one day I want to name a road at some point in the world. I want to name a road. I want to know who names them. I want you or me, probably you, to say something so iconic that it becomes a thing like that people are saying it without even realizing it. It becomes like a twitch. They don't even realize they're saying it. Like how do you do that?
It just comes up. It's, to be fair, it's like I didn't know. You know the word podcast?
Yeah.
It comes from iPod.
Really?
It was podcasts on iPods.
Do you know? Did podcasts not exist before Apple?
To be fair, I saw that on TikTok. It absolutely could be fake.
No, I believe it. No, I fully believe it.
I've taken this information. My brain says that's a fact, and then I just tell people about them like they are definitely facts.
I actually love that because it makes me think like we could just say something with a little conviction and see how far we can spread, and then it could just be all lies.
Right, what are we on?
Well, I have a question. I mean, I'm going to drop in the fact that I've got a physics degree. It's the only time I get to use it is when I name drop it. And one of my favourite parts of it was time, because you can literally travel in time. You can, Doctor Who fans listening, you can, but you can only travel in one direction. Not the band. If you heard of the arrow of time, and it's something to do with like, you know, if you go fast enough, you can go somewhere and then come back and you'll still be young and the world and all that stuff, and it baffles me, but it always makes me think if you could travel in time to anywhere in time, like you could only travel once and you'd be impartial, you wouldn't be involved in the event, you wouldn't be able to interact, but you could just observe, where would you go?
Oh, into the past
or the future. You've got free reign,
and I can go one time and I'm just watching the events.
You can go for it as long as you want to that period of time, but once you've like landed there, you stay there until you return home.
Okay.
My answer's so lame for this.
My instinct is to say Band-Aid, Live Aid, even.
Band-Aid. It's not just
Band-Aid.
what Americans call a plaster.
Yeah, but also at Christmas, where do they know? That's
Oh,
Band-Aid.
okay. Okay,
But I meant
sorry,
Live
you are
Aid.
right.
I meant
That's,
Live
do you
Aid.
know, that is so not what I thought you were going to say at all.
I just think because I can't interact, so like I can't do anything where anyone like I can't do anything where it's like, oh, I need to assassinate someone. Like I can't go back
Yeah,
and kill Hitler, and I can't do anything where I'm gonna fall in love
yeah.
or like.
Oh, I love
So
that.
I guess if you're just gonna observe something, I feel like it has to be a gig.
Do you know, I love that because you picked the ultimate gig. And to be fair, I thought you were going to say something like to the origin of, is it Dadaism? Or I can never know how I'm saying it right.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool to be fair, because that was like that also was like a live show. It was like a
Oh,
poetry. It was like they performed. Yeah, it was a performance.
okay. But you
So that
would
would
want to
be
be able to
pretty cool.
interact, wouldn't you? You'd want to get
Yeah.
involved.
Whereas I think like no one is interacting in the like you are, but I could still have a boogie.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's not like you know, unless you wanted a glass of water and you just couldn't get one, you'd be fine. Like I get that. No, that's a good answer. Actually, that's a really, really good answer. That's fully, and it's much better than saying like, "Oh, back to the pyramids" or whatever. I respect that a lot. That's a good one.
What's your answer?
So mine was really lame. I've always thought about this, and in a weird way, I kind of wish I could interact. But I've always said I'd go back to the time when my mum and dad are my age now, and just see what they were
Oh,
like, because I have a feeling they were cool, and
that's
I
so
almoys
cute.
like I always ask them like, would you be my friend if we were the same age now? And they both just say quite nonchalantly, probably not. Because I am a bit of a wet white, and I'm very nerdy, and so I am. But I just like me, you know what my mum's like, iconic, and my dad, you know, he had a leather waistcoat and leather trousers and nothing underneath, working at a nightclub in town, and I just feel like they wouldn't be my friend, and I just want to see what they were like. And your dad, to be fair, I want to know what your
Oh
dad
God.
was like.
I don't think you want to know my dad young.
Oh, the picture! I've just got such a vivid picture of him in the beach, on the beach, in the water, in some speedos, and I'm like, I shouldn't be looking at my uncle in this man, like in this situation. Iconic, but yeah. So that's what I would do if I could try. If I could interact, though, if you could get involved,
Ooh.
and do you know the whole killing Hitler thing is such a paradox. Like it's such an ambiguous thing in terms of like, because if you kill Hitler, smash in, he's a terrible man, but then like everything that we know is different.
Yeah, you're not even supposed to step on a butterfly.
Bit of science. It's actually called the grandfather paradox, because it's like if you go back in time and kill your granddad, which I don't know why you would, but if you did, then you would never have been born to then go back in time to kill him, so then he wouldn't be dead, but then you would have been born, and it's just see what I'm going with
Yeah.
this.
But this is the thing about time travel, that like the reason I will never ever ever write a time travel story is
Oh,
because it's just like a whole, that is a lot of
yeah.
worms. That it
It's
just
yeah, literal wormholes.
I was just
That's
gonna shit on a very popular book franchise.
Oh, please do.
Okay, so it's a very I feel like it's a criticism that comes up a lot. And obviously there are other reasons why I don't like J.K. Rowling. But right, talk about fucking plot hole. They
Mm.
introduce time travel into book 3, Prisoner of
Oh
Azkaban,
man. Yeah. Oh yeah.
and it is never used again.
That
So many people die.
that's what gets me. I will admit I haven't read it, but watching it, they use the time turner to save, you know, the pet, essentially.
Sirius Black was right there.
Oh, it's
Children
mental.
die.
That is such a good point. You know, I've never ever ever thought of that until now.
Because maybe at the end, as kids, they could have been like, this is a dangerous thing for us to have, and no one should have this power, and then they get rid of it. But they don't even do that. It just
Exactly.
disappears.
Yeah, like they should have say maybe it shaved 10 years off their life, or like freaking lost a limb, or some repercussion for, you know, messing with
Yes.
time. But it was just a
Oh,
really cool necklace. That's such a good
literally.
point. Has anyone mentioned this before?
Honest to God, J.K. Rowling, she is, I mean, talk about another a whole load of worms I don't want to get into. There are so many criticisms for that woman, but honest to
Oh.
God, the way people hold on to those books like they're the shit. And I'm telling you, I read them all in about 6 months when I was like 19. I read them all in a row. They are so badly written.
Mm-hmm.
The last book in particular is such a pile of shit because she was clearly on a timeline because she had to finish it in line with the movies because they'd started coming out by then.
Oh
It's
my God.
literally just extreme DOV, and then
Oh.
a child kills Hitler, basically. Like, I just don't. It's just so shit.
That is the best. I can already see like a scary movie Scream parody of, and it's just a child killing Hitler. And that's the Harry Potter. Oh, that's so good.
No
I mean,
thanks.
I mean, we do. I feel like it is worth mentioning. We have to name drop, don't we? That we went to the same school as the Weasley twins.
We do have to say that. I have
It,
seen. I haven't met them personally. A lot of my friends have, but I have
my
seen
mum
them out
has.
and about.
Do you remember when we were walking past the restaurant,
Oh
Squiggly
my god, yeah,
Giggly
giggling
Squid?
squid.
And it was night time. We'd clearly come out for a later dinner so that, we wouldn't get spotted. And we were just staring at him through the window as we walked past. It's iconic. It's
Yeah,
not even ginger. Not even ginger. I do have to say, genuinely, not just in the nature of doing I honestly think whenever you meet up with friends you haven't seen for a while, friends you see every day, groups of friends, think like an individual friend, you should have a list of themes to talk about. Not because you need things to talk about, but because it's so cool. Like, instead of meeting up and like, oh, how's work, how's the weather, how's your driving test, you're actually talking about the concept of time and that book and Hellboy 2. And I just think that's really cool. So I'm now always going to turn up to anywhere that I'm meeting someone with a list of things to ask them about. Like, I
I
have
like
some
that because this is so much more fun than what are you doing? What have you been up to? Because the answer's
Yeah.
always nothing.
Oh, I know. I actually hate asking those questions. Like, sometimes I'll ring my nan up and God bless her, she doesn't do much because she can't anymore. And I'm like, oh, have you got any plans for today, Nan? And I'm like, why have I asked that? Because I know she doesn't. Like, she
Yeah.
can't even like fully see the TV. She's just listening. And I'm like, oh, why have I kind of reminded her of the fact that she's not got any plans? So, yeah, different topics, 100%.
Hmm. I'm I'm upset because my question is essentially it's definitely maybe a different medium, but it's the same flavor. It's not chocolate ice cream, but it is chocolate cake.
Okay, I love them both, so bring it on.
Okay, imagine the Doctor, as in Doctor Who.
Uh-huh.
Imagine the Doctor doesn't like you very much, but you did do him a favor, so he's promised to take you on 2 trips.
Oh,
You're going to the future and you're going to the past. Where are you going?
do you know, that was better than being the same flavour. Mine is like an Aldi's own chocolate cake, and yours is
No!
like a proper bakery
No!
from Chocky Wocky Doodah in Brighton. That was such a niche reference. So you're going to the future, you're going to the past.
Yeah.
Are we talking earthly? Well, we kind of have to because I could just make some up like
Future you can do wherever. Like you could go to like Rose sees the end of the world, but she's not on
yeah.
the world while she's there.
Yeah, okay. Proper nerd part of me, because there's so many I would like to choose. I'll go for one that's a bit different. I would literally like to go far back in time and just hang out of the police box, the TARDIS. Why did I say the police box before I said the TARDIS? And I would literally like to see how the moon is formed because nobody's quite sure. There's theories. There's one residing theory, but I want to know if it was a chunk of Earth from a collision, bit of space debris. I just want to know a bit more about the moon's life, see what she's like.
Fair.
Future-wise, kind of want to see what happens with AI, to be honest. Like how iRobot we get. Like, was Will Smith right? Is there going to be one nice robot who can wink and everyone else is evil? So, but I might need more, ironically, time to think about that. But that's what I'm going for. What are you saying?
Past. It might be because I liked a recent episode so much, but there was like a Regency episode, like a Bridgerton episode, except some of the people were cosplaying shape-shifting alien owls.
No.
I don't want the alien owls.
Oh
But
wow.
like a Bridgerton era, I'm trying to romance someone, I think.
Okay,
Like I
yeah.
definitely romanticize period dramas.
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
mean, that's their point, the point of them. But
Yeah.
I know that's not what it was like, and I wouldn't like to stay there because I like having rights. And
That's fair enough. Yeah.
yeah, I think I'd like to go back, or like maybe even further back, go Tudor,
Mm.
and maybe sabotage Shakespeare in some way.
Oh, that would be so fulfilling. If you could just contribute to some of his plays, like you'd
Oh
make them
my
so
god.
much better.
Yeah, I'd get finalist plays and I'd put written by Shakespeare and Leah Fennell.
I would love that. How the world would change. That would be so good. Oh, that's a
Future
good one.
wise, future's hard because it's
Mm.
like there's a lot of imagining to do. What are we on? 8:45.
No, it's not 9:15. It's the sun is out.
The
Right.
sun's out. Um, it's hard for me not to base this just on TV shows I've recently watched.
But you're gonna.
Because the urge to just say like nuclear fallout so I could get it on with the ghoul.
Yeah.
I fancy him so much. Um,
Oh God, I love that.
but he's not
That's so
real.
good. He might be in the
It may be in the future. Oh,
future.
I worry about the future. But I do get mad FOMO for the future, like more than the
Yeah.
past. Like
Yeah.
I want to live forever because I want to know what's gonna happen, what's going down.
Genuinely, like just curiosity, not like being part of it. Just want to know what's
Yeah.
going on.
Is it gonna be like Fifth Element? Is it gonna be like Blade
Oh my
Runner?
God. Oh, Blade Runner. Oh, the smog would get
Yeah.
me in Blade. But I love Blade Runner. Would you ever go down your own timeline for the future?
Ooh.
Like knowing that you wouldn't interfere with it.
I feel like I don't know because it's like if you know it's gonna be shit, then you can change the present.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if I found out that like I die alone of like syphilis or something, I would I'd be so bummed out that like I don't know. I don't that's a hard question.
I do not want that future for you, and I'm sure it won't. But now we're going to do all that we can to ensure. Oh man, that is a dark episode of Doctor Who. That is.
And if I was happy, I think I'd then waste my present and I'd fuck it up. I'd fuck up my own future because I'd be like, yeah, but it'll be fine in the end.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I'd end up changing it because I'd get laissez-faire about living.
Mhm.
That's
Man,
deep.
I saw my first MetaQuest advert the other day, and it was literally like someone is trying to put together a crib. So he puts his headset on and watches a YouTube video in it. But then I don't know, you can see as well. I just felt wrong. Like imagine your baby walks in and you've got this massive contraption on your face. That can't be
Yeah.
good for you. I don't know. I
I'm
don't know how I
too
feel about it.
easily I'm too easily like I believe everything I see. I did a VR thing with my friends and it was like a zombie game. That's it. And it wasn't even a good zombie game. Like it was like PS1 graphics. And one, didn't understand how to shoot my gun. I panicked and I turned around and ran directly into a wall, like in reality. And the lady had to turn off the game and we played Fruit Ninja instead.
Oh my God, that's so good. Oh, see, that's why reality's better because being the people not with the VR headset on and watching you run into a wall would have been the best part of the day. Genuinely.
Yeah.
Like, what's that game? Is it Ready Player One? Have you seen that?
Mm-mm.
And
I
they
know the
all live.
concept.
Yeah, it's basically VR stuff, but then they basically live in it, and all the actual people live in like what is essentially like storage units. They're called like the stacks, and it's all like a rundown. And I honestly think that's going to be the future because building
Yeah.
up smaller spaces and then trying to escape to a digital realm.
Mm-hmm.
That's my
It
take.
freaks me out.
It scares me. It freaking scares me. But on a different perspective of looking at time,
Ooh.
do you ever get like, you know, when do you picture time in your head? So if I said to you, oh, we'll meet up in October, in my
Yeah.
head, the calendar is spread out like a clock face, but more oval because there's
Yeah.
lots of, and like October is like over here,
Yeah.
and January's down here. Like, how do you envision it?
That's a good. I don't think I've ever purposefully, like, if you said let's meet up in October, orange.
That is a clip. That itself is a quote. That's a tattoo. That is. Oh my god, that's so good. But that is a thing, though. Genuinely,
Yeah.
like that is a thing.
Yeah, like I feel like I see colours more than sound like a fucking lunatic. But like if I imagined like meeting you in October, I don't think I would imagine like setting it in on like a calendar in my brain. I'd just be like Halloween. Like
Yeah,
if you said like July, I think blue.
yeah. To be fair, like people do think of concepts, places, things as colors, and it's so weird because I don't. But it always makes me think of like, you know, how people can see stuff in their brain and other people can't.
Yeah.
Aphantasia, like that. I only learned about that at uni, and it blew my mind because like it's not like visualizing stuff like you can see it, like as if
Yeah.
you can, but it's like this hazy image kind of thing, and I just can't believe people can't.
I like, yeah, like when I was younger and I'd have nightmares, or you know, when you close your eyes sometimes and you just see like a horrible face, and your brain is
Yeah.
just like, keep seeing it. In my head, a little me, like to get it out of my brain, a little me will come and like push it like a PowerPoint transition, and like push the image off, and then I just think about something.
That is genuinely some kind of Disney Channel show. It's like, you know, when Lizzie McGuire has her little, I can imagine a little animated you. That thought's got, that is so good. That should be some kind of campaign for children mental health. That is so good. Do you know, apply that though to adult life. Like, I genuinely think you have a bad thought, you have a worry, you're worrying about, in she comes out the window.
You go,
I'm gonna do, and could you see yourself like doing it, like plugging
yeah,
in?
like yeah, but then I
See?
think in like movie scenes,
That makes so much sense.
But like nightmares, I've not had a nightmare in years because if I have a scary dream, it's usually in third person, and the way it's shot, it's like yeah, cinematic. So I'm like,
Wow.
I'm in the situation, but I'm like, but it's just a movie.
Do you know, this should be some kind of audition tape in itself. You know, when people say like, why do you want to do, you are so meant for like storytelling and creating that your own dreamscape does it. Like, you're creating Oscar-worthy film.
I wouldn't go that far. I've dreamt of a couple of episodes of Doctor Who though that I genuinely thought were real. Like I woke up and was like, "Oh, that's a great episode. I should watch that again." And I've like dreamt the whole thing.
I love it. You basically got free TV. That's so good. I will always remember as well, after lockdown, when we met up for the first time in the graveyard, you gave me my birthday presents. You were telling me about this dream you had where you were being chased or something, and you were like, I need to write this down. It was like a best-selling novel, but I don't know if you ever actually did write it down or if you forgot.
Probably not.
But the way you were telling it me, one, I was worried that you had actually been chased or something. Like, it sounded
was it the
so
cannibal
real.
one?
Yeah, yes. Oh my God, do you remember it? Honestly, someone should tap into your brain, make movies. You should do that. You tap in your brain, that'd be so good. Oh, I also remember you saying as well, you never used to have nightmares because you got your dream catchers, man. They capturing them.
Genuinely, I considered getting into witchcraft recently again.
Okay.
Even though I like a lot of it's like deities and gods and stuff, and I'm like, no, I'm not about that shit. But
Yeah.
I will say I have a lot of dream catchers, and I don't dream that often. Now I'm on
At all.
anti-anxiety pills. I'll tell you what, I dream very vividly
Ah,
about the most
yeah.
random shit. I had an extremely violent and yet also extremely sexually explicit dream about Will Graham from Hannibal. I hadn't watched Hannibal since I was 16. This happened 2 weeks ago. And the way it was like graphically, the gore, and then it segued directly into Pornhub.
I have to know though, because I know you said a lot of them are third person. Was it a first person dream?
What's first person?
He wasn't. Was the violence both you and him as well?
I can't even describe to you the violence. When I tell you that they both ended up, I can't remember how, and I'm sure this is going to get cut because no one cares about anyone's dreams.
I love
But
it.
Hannibal and Will Graham ended up, someone ripped their dicks off, and I can't remember how we got to that point, but it happened. And then a surgeon reattached Hannibal's, and then the surgeon was going to do Will's, but Hannibal was like, "No, I'm doing it. Get fucked."
Oh.
So then Hannibal did it, and then he got jealous because he couldn't get Will up, but I could because he was my boyfriend in this dream. And then I ended up. It was the bit where Will. Spoiler to Hannibal season 1. If I've said it, it's when Will ends up in jail for Hannibal's crimes, and I was like, I'm gonna get him. I'm taking him down. And then I did all the detective work to get my boyfriend Will Graham out of jail. And like Hannibal was not having me and Hannibal were like in some like head to head. It was like bizarre. It was bizarre.
Oh, genuinely, you really do dream in like film and TV, don't you? That is so funny. Please keep that in. That is so good. From when you were 16 as well, those episodes are like imprinted on your soul.
To be fair, I had to stop watching Hannibal because I got so. Hannibal girls, I'm sorry, babes, I don't get you. I don't understand you. He's weird. He gives me the creeps. He literally is the creepiest man that's ever lived. And Hugh Dancy from Ella Enchanted is right there. He's right there. And he's depressed. And he rescues stray dogs. Literally, what more could you want?
That's
What
the
more could you
criteria.
want? I got so emotionally invested in that character of Will Graham that
Yeah.
when he does get arrested, I was so emotionally hurt by that. I couldn't carry on the series. And I just gave it up. I gave it up.
Oh my God.
So I've returned. How
Yeah.
many years later? 8 years later.
That's
And I'm back at
incredible.
square one, rewatching.
That-
And I'm
Oh, you go.
determined.
Okay, so I was going to say you've gone from the start. You've not gone from his prison. No. Oh, that's so good. Oh, I really wish. I hope they invent technology where you can like share dreams or just watch someone else's because I would
Oh, it'd
so
be so-
tune in.
You know,
I
the
would so.
irony is on my list of notes of things that I wanted to talk about today, I literally
Yeah.
have one note that says, "No one cares about your dreams, Mary. Least of all me. I truly couldn't give a rat's ass and or titties."
No way. That couldn't be the most relevant thing I have ever heard. Oh my gosh. I mean, I actually like learning about people's dreams because I have a weird belief that it's a parallel universe that we're tapping into while we're unconscious.
Love that. I hope it's not.
I was going to say, God bless them in those universes. It's some stuff. Like,
His dick worked though.
it's what?
It worked. It worked again.
Well, there you go. There you go.
That's a
Do you
sex
have-
scene like 5 minutes later.
I would honestly. You must wake up like, were you kind of sad it was over?
I
Or...
was because I got woken up at 8 a.m. because I was on
Oh.
holiday. To my dad, like, get up, we have to get in beds before the Germans do. Get up.
That is the most you done thing. I love that. I will say as well, holiday dreams are some of the most vivid. I don't know if it's the ocean air. Do you have a stress dream?
Yes, and I thought I was unique until I brought it up while I was doing the last show I did. Because I dream when I'm doing shows, or even like just randomly, I'll dream that I don't know my script before going on stage.
Oh
And
my
it's
God.
the same script every single time that I don't know.
Really?
It's some kind of like classical, like classic musical theatre, like Hello Dolly or something like that. And I'm
Yeah.
like the lead, and I don't know the dances, and I don't know my script, and I'm backstage like freaking out.
That's
And
nightmarish.
all the time. I get it.
Oh my God. Do you wake up so relieved though afterwards?
Oh my God, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I hate that. It's weird with the body. Like you'd think sleep would be a good time for it to rejuvenate, to de-stress, and then it's literally I wake up when that happens, feeling like I haven't slept because I've just been awake in my dream. But like I have weird ones on like a mini scale. Like I don't know what it is, but like say I'm at home and it's like my mum or my dad's birthday or something, and I want to get up early and put a banner on the wall just so like they've got something to come down to. I
Yeah.
will dream the night before that I've like forgotten it and they've walked in and they're so disappointed and I'm crying. And it's not that big a deal, but I wake up. I will set an alarm to make sure I get up for it, but I will wake up before that alarm because my body is like, you are getting that banner on that wall. And I just don't understand why it turns into such a big deal in my dream. It's like, I'm sure my dad wouldn't mind if I didn't blow up balloons or something, but it's weird, isn't it?
Like dreaming in general is weird because like why are we
Yeah.
doing it? What is the
No one-
purpose of dreaming?
Exactly. No one looks into it enough, I feel.
Right, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
I've gone a little bit spooky because we are
Naturally.
ghouls after all. If
Naturally.
you were being tortured by the devil and his choice
Ooh.
of torture was to make you stay in the same little empty room forever with nothing in it, how are you passing the time?
Do you know, I've weirdly thought about this before. Maybe not to those exact terms. The devil hasn't, but like I always think about, prisoners in isolation. You know how that's like a punishment. I think that sounds great. Like I think that sounds really great. Also, whenever I picture the devil, because I've watching Lucifer like 2 years ago, I always
Is he
pictured the
hot?
guy who played. No, he reminds me of. He's the guy from Miranda.
Yeah, but Gary's heart.
Yeah, but it's like I just don't picture the devil as the devil now, like this big evil entity.
Yeah.
He's just a police investigating good guy. But I would like to think, and I've genuinely thought about this. I like to think is it like eternity I'm in that room?
Yeah.
So I'm obviously going to go insane. I'm counting on myself to go insane to the point where, because I like to think up stories like in my head, but I want to get it to the point where like I'm just talking to myself, I create little characters and then I can start seeing them and then I can just close my eyes and visualize, and then because I'm insane, I'm actually in these little worlds. Like I like to think that I can trick myself into becoming, but not like hallucinating demons, but like hallucinating little nice gnomes and stuff, friendly
Yeah.
fellas. And if I've got sharp enough nails and the wall's quite malleable, just scratching some tails into the wall, kind of thing. Just writing it down in case I have any good ideas. But genuinely, I think that's probably it. What about you?
The irony is, the things you just described, I literally spoke to a therapist today about.
No way.
I was like, I live in daydreams. I fantasize instead of living my real life. I make up characters and I talk to them. And she was
I
like,
loved it.
Where does this come from? And I was like, I don't know.
Oh, that is so. It must be in the blood. It really must be. That's
I was
so
like,
funny.
It did not take me hell to go that insane.
Yeah. Just daily life. Oh my god, that is incredible. Oh, we'd have a good time then. We'd be fine.
We'd be fine.
Oh man. Oh, so is that what you'd do then in the same situation?
Yeah, I think so. I could just think about Will Graham from Hannibal.
Yeah, just dream about him nightly, like. Oh, I love that. That's quite a good idea actually, because you do have lots of like cinematic dreams, as you said. You've got eternity to just dream of every film and show ever made and just watch them, but not anything to do with time. But I have to ask because I always like these questions. So if you were to go into this room and you could take 3 items, any item, you could say something as big as a Netflix subscription, or do you know what I mean? It's entirely up to you. Could be living as well.
Ooh. Like people.
Yeah. No, actually not people.
Just
nothing you can communicate with.
Okay. I was going to say the dog but then I'd take Sheldon. Sheldon's all this shit. I'd maybe get like a year out of him, 2 years.
Oh.
I feel like I'm only allowed 3 things. Because then I was like, well, I'll take 2 dogs and then I'll just make more.
No, but you can have God bless him. No, okay, you could say Sheldon's eternal in that room with you, or you get that 3rd thing again afterwards.
I'll take Sheldon. I'm gonna take. See, I would take a subscription to something, but all my favorite movies aren't on anything. So I think I'm just gonna take. Can I take my DVD collection?
Yeah. That's an item in itself. Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
So I'm gonna take my DVD collection because I've got over 100 now because I can't stop buying them.
I love that.
Um, And I'm also going to take, not to be lame, but the teddy bear that I sleep with. What was it?
That's the
teddy bear I
cutest
sleep with.
thing. Oh, I love that. I love that so much. No, I respect that. And also, same animal. I respect it. And also, the one you got me. I know this is for a podcast, so people can't see what we're doing. But no, that's a good selection because you've got comfort, you've got company, and you've got entertainment.
Yeah, I feel bad not taking any books, but one book forever, lame, and I'm not taking a
Ye-
Kindle.
Yeah, you would. Yeah, that's what I mean. We hate Kindle that much. I will work even when it's like a lifeline. No, and you're right.
But
You know,
notepads.
see, that's one of mine. Mine would be some kind of unending journal, like pages,
Yeah,
because I would run out. You'd want like an infinite page one. But
I
then
might
is
have to
a
do
journal,
that instead of the toy.
but is a pen a separate item, or can you say like a
I
pen and
feel
paper
like,
set?
well, my notebook has like a little doodah
Yes,
for a pen.
a
So I
literal
think-
loophole. That is a literal
Oh,
loophole.
Again, I'm showing it to the screen as if this is not audio medium.
But it's good for us, and that's the main thing. No, okay, a pen and yeah, same. Because you could write your own stories then. And again, I think when you go insane enough, you have different characters in your head. So it would be like reading someone else's book because you won't even remember writing some of them. So I would do that. I would take a cat. I wouldn't be able to choose any of my existing cats because I just couldn't do that.
Now I feel bad. I do have 2 other dogs, but in my defense,
Sheldon's your
Sheldon
boy.
is my boy. He's my boy.
always been your boy. And you've got sisters as well. So each dog has a person. So
Yeah.
you're okay. There is, I would have to take a cat. Hopefully, just a cat in itself, just the epitome of cat. Oh man. See, your instinct is to take a book, but you would hate it, wouldn't you? Oh man, it's a tough one, mate. You're right with a teddy, man. I think that's a good idea, or a mini fridge, like an
Ooh.
unending mini fridge. I'm adding some magical
Ooh.
elements now.
That's good. That's a good choice. Should we wrap up time? Is it time to wrap up?
It is time. We're running out of time, so it is time to wrap up time.
I never know how to end this shit. Other
I know,
podcasts just end, to be fair. They're just like,
I mean-
done now, bye.
It would be so funny if it could just cut off mid-sentence and be like a cliffhanger, but as a reader I hate cliffhangers, so that would be cruel. And it's not like we can allude to what's coming up, because we haven't planned the rest of the season, not the series. We don't even know.
Shall we? Okay, next episode, the theme is space. Time and space, get it?
Yeah, continuum.
We're so organised.
So we'll see you
So-
there.
See you there. Oh, do you want to promote anything? Do you have?
Oh, no, I have a pun though. I have a pun I want to make. Because it's about space, but we're a podcast. Instead of saying watch this space, it'll be listen to this space. That was worse out loud. Oh,
That's the
that was
end.
a shame.
That's it.
That was.
Bye, gang.